Welcome to the lecture series on Circuit and Systems, ETEE 207. These lectures are for computer science engineering students, second year, and electronics and communication engineering, second year. Myself, Nikhil Nigam, I'll be teaching this subject. Let us start. In Indraprasth University, when the subject comes in computer science engineering, the subject is known as circuit and system. But when the same subject comes in electronics and communication engineering, the subject is named network analysis and synthesis. And in another universities, the same subject is known with the name network theory. So all the three names are similar, but in my opinion, network analysis and synthesis is a most appropriate name for the subject as far as the syllabus goes. Using the name circuit and system is a bit wrong, as the word circuit has become obsolete or wrong, or I would rather say non-general, because in the subject we will be dealing with the networks and not only the circuits. So network is a more general word, and in the subject we will be dealing the network analysis and synthesis. The name network theory is also good because it covers both the analysis and synthesis part. The textbooks that I can recommend for the same subject are Circuit Theory, Analysis and Synthesis by Abhijit Chakrabarty, Dhanpat Rai publication. If you belong to electronics and communication engineering, then this book is a must-have for your future references also. And if you belong to computer science engineering, then I would recommend these two books, Circuit and System or Network Analysis and Synthesis. Circuit and System by Dr. K.M. Soni. It is published by Katzen Publication, New Delhi. Network Analysis and Synthesis by Franklin F. Kuo, Wheelie International. This is a very renowned book by a very renowned author. Whereas Circuit and System by Dr. K.M. Soni is a good book as per the GGS IPU syllabus. For CSE students, but these books have many mistakes. The book is specially designed as per the GGS IPU syllabus, but the book has many mistakes by Dr. K.M. Soni. The book have many grammatical mistakes also. So in all, I would recommend this book and this book, Circuit Theory, Analysis and Synthesis by Abhijit Chakrabarty. Okay. I previously said that the name circuit is a bit wrong to use here. It is a bit older convention. Nowadays, we use the word networks because it is more general word to use in regard to electrical connections. So obviously there will be a question now coming into our minds. Then what is the difference between circuit and network? Why the circuit is an older convention and why network is a bit newer convention or a more general word? Let us discuss. So the question that is coming in our mind is, how is a circuit different from a network? Circuit is actually meant for the flow of electrical energy. meant for the flow of electrical energy. If we go on to find its meaning in our day-to-day general life, we would find the word circuit in car racing circuits, car racing circuits, where the car starts from a starting point and it travels across a path and comes back to its original point. So this car travels along this path and comes back to the point where it started. So circuit is actually a closed path. So circuit is actually a closed path. So I have given over here that it is a closed interconnection. If we are discussing electrical circuits, specifically electrical circuits, then electrical circuit is a closed interconnection. Interconnection of what? Interconnection of energy sources, circuit elements, like resistance, inductor, capacitor, diode, etc. There are many circuit elements. If they are connected with energy sources in a closed interconnection, then they will form a electrical circuit. So the most important point to remember in regard to this electrical circuit is that it must form a closed path everywhere, and it must have energy sources and circuit elements, because it is meant for the flow of electrical energy. Whereas network is any possible interconnection. Network is any possible interconnection. Here any means that the interconnection can be open or closed, whereas a circuit must be a closed interconnection. The network should be a open or closed interconnection. Let us discuss them with a suitable diagram. I have these two diagrams. Let us discuss this one. We have an energy source of 10 volt here, 3 resistances and an electrical load, which all are connected together, or I would say they all are interconnected. Now they all are interconnected in a closed fashion. If I start from this point, then I could come back to this point from anywhere. So in this particular interconnection, we have everywhere closed interconnections. So if we have closed interconnection, energy sources and circuit elements, that means we will regard that particular interconnection as a circuit. Whereas in networks, it is not mandatory that it must have a closed interconnection. It may have open or closed. See this diagram, see this interconnection. In this particular interconnection, we have three resistances, each of 20 ohm, and are connected together. Also, we have some wires which are unconnected. These wires are not connected anywhere. So if I look at these three resistances, they are interconnected in a closed fashion. But in here, we do not have a closed path here. Similarly, we do not have a closed path here. That means we have an open path here, we have a closed path here, we have an open path here. So if we have an open path at any point in an interconnection, that means we cannot regard that particular interconnection as a circuit. So it will become a network, as a network can have open as well as closed interconnections. Let us proceed further. A circuit must have energy source in it. As I already told you, a circuit is meant for the flow of circuit is meant for the flow of electrical energy. Electrical energy. So that means it must have energy sources. If a circuit or if a closed interconnection does not have energy source in it, it will not be regarded as a circuit. Let us go back. See here, we have these three resistances. These three are connected in a closed interconnection. So can it be regarded as a circuit? Can this portion be regarded as a circuit? No, because it does not have a energy source in it. So a circuit must have a closed interconnection as well as it must have a energy source in it. Whereas a network can be open or closed, or it may or may not have energy source in it. See here, it does not have any energy source anywhere. So why we are calling it as a network? Suppose if I connect, let me change the pen color. Suppose I connect an energy source here. I connect a battery of 5 volt here. Then what would change? This will become a close connection. This will also become a close connection. And due to this energy source, a current will start flowing into these resistances. And in these resistances like this. Wherever current sees a closed circuit, a closed path, a current will start flowing into that branch. But there would be no current in these branches. So this particular connection is now a closed one. So I can regard this particular section as a circuit. Similarly, if I look at this, it is also a closed interconnection and current can flow into it. So this particular section will also be a circuit. But if I look the whole circuit or whole interconnection, then it has an open circuit over here or open path over here. If it has an open path here, then it will not be regarded. The whole interconnection cannot be regarded as a network. We would regard this as a, it will not be regarded as a circuit. It would be regarded as a network. So I guess now you know the difference between circuit and network. A circuit must be a closed interconnection, whereas a network may be a open or closed. A circuit must have energy source in it, whereas a network may or may not have energy source in it. Now suppose if I further connect a load here. Suppose a load is connected over here between these terminals, then this would be a closed circuit, this would be a closed circuit, this would be a closed circuit, and the whole interconnection can then be regarded as a circuit as well as it will be regarded as a network. So a network can become a circuit only if all the sections are closed and there should be no open path into the interconnection. So every circuit can be regarded as a network, but every network cannot be regarded as a circuit. See here, I have an interconnection, say like this. This is a network, but I cannot call it as a circuit. But see here, in this particular example, it is a circuit. I can call this as well as a network. So every circuit can be called a network, but every network cannot be called as a circuit. So network is a more general word. Network is a more general word. It can be used for circuits and it can be used for open interconnections as well. So network is a more general word. That is why I was stressing that network analysis and synthesis is a more correct name for the subject than using the word circuit and system. Circuits and systems, because in this particular subject we will not be discussing only the circuits, we will be discussing networks, their analysis and synthesis. You must be wondering what is analysis and synthesis. I will come very shortly onto this topic also. So let us have a recap of this topic. We were discussing the difference between circuit and network. A circuit is a closed interconnection, whereas network can be closed or open. It must have an energy source in it. It may or may not have an energy source in it. See here, suppose I'm giving you an example of a circuit and a network. See here, we have a source which is having a 10 volt, which is providing a 10 volt electricity with the frequency ranges from 50 to 500 hertz. And if it is connected to its electrical load, then electrical load will be receiving the same voltage as that of the source. If it is providing 10 volt, it will be receiving 10 volts only. If it would have been providing 5 volt, then it would have received 5 volts. Then the frequencies of the input signal is 50 to 500 hertz, and the signal received by this load would be carrying the frequencies ranging from 50 to 500 hertz. That means in a circuit, the frequencies in the source and load does not change. Whereas if it is required that a source of 10 volt with 50 to 500 hertz frequencies must be feeding a load of which need a 10 volt, but a frequency is of 100 to 200 hertz. Now it do not need frequencies in between 50 to 500, where this load now needs only frequencies ranging from 100 to 200 hertz. So what should I do? I cannot directly connect these two as shown in this figure. This will be a wrong interconnection. If I would connect them, then it would receive 50 to 500 hertz into the load. But I need to filter out the frequencies. So what do I need to do? I need to connect another interconnection in between this source and load, which will be converting this 50 to 500 hertz into 100 to 200 hertz frequencies, whereas it will be keeping the voltage constant. So such networks which will filter out the frequencies are termed as filter circuits. We will discuss them in the unit number 4, filter circuits. So filter circuits are nothing but the networks. If you will notice, I have not shown the internal configuration or internal connection of the elements in this filter. This is called black box representation. Black box representation. We'll discuss more about it. So this is the basic difference between circuit and a network. If I go for giving you some examples, then charger, mobile charger, what it is doing, it is taking a voltage of 220 volt AC and it is providing a voltage of 5 volt DC to the mobile. So charger is acting as a bridge between the source and the load. So networks are generally the bridging elements between the source and load. If you ever see a bridging device which is bridging the source with the load, then that particular device can be termed as a network. So I have given here, every circuit is a network. We have already discussed this, but every network is not a circuit. Let us discuss this with some examples. See this example and let us try to find out whether it can be a network or a circuit. Well, I can see that it is an interconnection. If it is an interconnection, I can directly call it as a network, because network is any interconnection. Now the question is, can it be a circuit? Can it be a circuit? For this to be a circuit, it must have closed paths everywhere and energy source in it. See here, we have an energy source here. We have 3 resistances which are connected together, and we have a load. And by physical analysis, I can see that there is no open path. If it does not have an open path, that means it has everywhere the closed paths. So the first condition is satisfied for this to be a circuit. The second condition is it must have an energy source in it. So we have an energy source in it. So it is satisfying the second condition also. So I can regard this as a circuit also. So this particular interconnection can be termed as a network and also a circuit. See this particular interconnection, our next example, we have an energy source in it, we have a diode, we have 2 resistances. So the first thing is we have certain elements which are connected together, so that means it will be a network. Now the question is, can it be called a circuit? For this to be a circuit, it must verify 2 conditions. One is of closed path and the second one is of energy sources. So by physical analysis, I can see that it is a closed path. This one is also a closed path. That means we have closed path everywhere. So the first condition is satisfied. It also has a energy source in it, which is passing current into the circuit from this direction to this and to this. That means the current is flowing flowing everywhere into the circuit or into the interconnection. So that means it has an energy source in it. So the 2 conditions are satisfied. That means I can call this one as a circuit also. So the given figure is a circuit as well as a network. Now in this particular example, we have an energy source. We have 2 resistances connected across a charged capacitor. This one is a capacitor. Charged capacitor. So can this be termed as a network? Yes. Any possible interconnection is a network. So it will be a network. Now can it be termed as a circuit? Let us check. It must verify 2 conditions. One is of closed path everywhere. And second, it must have energy source in it. So by physical analysis, I can see this is a closed path. This one is a closed path, but this is not a closed path. We have an open section here. We have an open path here. In between these 2 terminals, these 2 terminals are not connected. So that means it does not have closed path. If it is not verifying the first condition, that means we cannot call this as a circuit. Even though it has an energy source in it, but it does not have closed path. So we cannot call this whole interconnection to be a circuit. Whereas this whole interconnection will be a network, but it will not be a circuit. But if I look only in this section, then this energy source will be passing some current into this section and into this section as well. Due to this, there is a closed path as well as current flowing into it. So this particular section can be a circuit, this particular section can be a circuit. But the whole interconnection is not a circuit, it will only be regarded as a network. See this one. In this particular example, we have two resistances only, which are connected by some means. So that means it is a network. But can it be a circuit? Let us see. It has open path here. It has open path here. So that means it cannot be a circuit. Also, it does not have energy source. There is no closed path. Also, there is no energy source in it. So it means it is not a circuit. It can be a network, but it is not a circuit. And any of its section can also not be termed as circuit because it does not have energy source and closed path anyway. Let us discuss next example. See, in this example, we have a charged capacitor and two resistances connected in this fashion. If they are connected, that means it will be regarded as a network. Now, what about circuit? Can it be regarded as a circuit? Let us see. We have an open section here. We have an open section here. That means the first condition of closed path is not satisfied. Excuse me. Closed path is not satisfied. So that means it will not be a circuit. Let us check the second condition also. Does it have energy source? See here, we have a charged capacitor here. This charged capacitor, if provided a closed path, would make a current to flow through that closed path. So if this capacitor is connected in a closed path, so it would allow current to pass through these two resistances in this direction. Hence, this particular section can be termed as a or regarded as a circuit, but not the whole interconnection. The whole interconnection can only be a network, but not a circuit. In this, we have closed path everywhere. We have energy source also. So it will be termed as a network as well as circuit. See, in this, it has a closed path. So the first condition is satisfied. It has a closed path. First condition is satisfied for being it to be a circuit. Let us check the second condition of energy source. Does it have energy source in it? It does not have energy source in it. Though it have a closed path, but it does not have an energy source in it. So it cannot be termed as a circuit. So it is not a circuit. Though being any possible interconnection, it can be regarded as a network. So this is a network, but not a circuit. So with these examples, we concluded that every circuit can be termed as a network, but every network cannot be termed as a circuit. So that means network is a more general word. So I guess by now we are clear about what is a network and what is a circuit. So as network is a general word, I'll be using the word network throughout the course to refer to any kind of interconnection. May it be open, may it be closed, may it have energy source in it, may it not have energy source in it. Okay. The next thing is the black box network. If you remember in the initial slides when we were discussing networks and circuits, I regarded a filter. I showed a filter with a box. So that particular representation is termed as a black box representation of a network or a black box network. Let us see what it is. So we now will discuss black box representation of a N-port network or a port network. See here, we have this network and we'll discuss some sort of analysis techniques. We'll discuss some sort of analysis techniques where we do not need information about the internal configuration of the network. We needed information, need info about the input to the circuit and output to the circuit, output of the circuit. So I need information about the input and the output, and all other information provided by the network is irrelevant to me. Irrelevant. So we do not need this information. I can hide this information with a black box with showing just the input to the network and output of the network. That is, I am not showing here the internal configuration of the network. That is, the internal configuration is now irrelevant to us. If the internal configuration is irrelevant to us, I can hide the internal configuration with a black box representation. So this is called the black box representation of a network. But see here, I have two terminals to input the input signal and output a signal from the network. I have a pair of terminals to input a signal into the network, and I have another pair of terminals to get the output from the network. So these pair, the pair of two terminals is called a port. This is called port 1, and this pair will be regarded as a port 2, generally referred to as A1 and A1 dash, B1, B2 and B2 dash. So this is port 1 and this is port 2, and from any port we can input this network, input the signal, and we can get output from the network. Or I can input the signal from the port 2 and get the output from the port 1. So this is the two-port network where we are using two ports, one for the input section, one for the output section. Then such network is called two-port network. Let us discuss more about this two-port network and what will be an N-port network. A two-port network had two ports, one for input, the other for output. So an N-port network will have N ports, and any number of ports can be used to input the signal and get the output, and the remaining to get the output of the network. Let us see here. See, we have this particular network. These are my terminals, as these are open. If I do not need the internal information, then I can input the signal from here and I can get the output from here, or I can input the signal from here, I can get the output from here. So this is port 1 and this will be port 2. See here, similarly I have shown 3 pair. One pair is here, this is port 1. The another pair is here, this pair is port 2, and this pair, this is port 3. I can input signal from here, I can input signal from here, or I can get the output from here. Or I can input signal from here and I can get the signal output from here and here. Or I can input signal from here, or I can get the output from these 2 ports. I can use any number of ports to input the signal, and I can use any number of ports to get the output from the network. So this particular network has 3 ports, 1, 2, and 3. So why it is called 3-port network. Similarly, we may have 4 terminals, port 1. We may have this port, port 2, port 3, and port 4. Or we may have any number of ports here. If we have n number of ports for inputting the signal and taking output from the network, then such network will be termed as n-port network. In the particular subject, we will be dealing only with the 2-port or 1-port network. 1-port network. In the 1-port network, we will be having only a pair of terminals which will be used for inputting and outputting the signal. This is network. We have only 1 port, so it is called 1-port network. So I guess by far now we have thoroughly discussed what is a network and what is a 2-port network. Now we should discuss what is meant by analysis and synthesis. Let us discuss network analysis and synthesis. Let us discuss the word analysis first. See, we are provided a network which have input in it and a load connected to get the output from the network. And we are also provided information regarding the internal configuration. If we are provided the information about the internal configuration and input, and we are required to find out the output. Output means we are required to find out the current in the load, or voltage across the load, or power consumed by the load. If we are required to find out such things in the load, then this problem is termed as the problem of analysis. Remember, here we have the information about the input, we have the information about the network, and we are required to find out the output. Then this problem is called the problem of analysis. In the previous subject of electrical technology that we learned in semester 1, we learned various techniques like nodal analysis, mesh analysis, Thevenin's theorem, Norton's theorem, or superposition theorem, to find out the current in any branch. So these are the techniques for analysis of networks. This we discussed in semester 1 in electrical technology, but in this subject we can use these analysis problems, as well as we will discuss some more technical techniques to analyze the network. In the subject electrical technology, we did the steady state analysis only. What is meant by the steady state analysis, we'll discuss it later. In the subject electric technology, we discussed the steady state analysis, but over here we'll discuss the dynamics of the circuit. So we need another kind of approach to do the analysis. We'll discuss in this subject. So this is the problem of analysis. Let us once again see, if we have the knowledge about the input to the network, internal configuration of the network, and we are required to find out the current flowing across a load, then this problem is termed as the problem of analysis. Now we should discuss what is the problem of synthesis. In general day-to-day life, you may have heard of the word synthesis, like photosynthesis. In the process of photosynthesis, plants prepare or make their food. So synthesis means making or designing. Making or designing. Designing means we should have the input, the information about the input, and we should have information about the requirement of the output. And this time we are required to design the network. We are required to design the network. So if we have the information about the input and the output, see here we have a source of 10 volt, and we need in the output we need a source of a voltage of 5 volts. So what should be the possible configuration of the circuit? Let me change the pen color. So what should be the internal configuration of the network which can convert this 10 volt into 5 volt? Or we may have a source with frequencies, input signal frequencies 50 to 500 hertz, and in the load we may need only frequencies from 100 to 200 hertz. So the remaining frequencies must not reach the output. It must be bypassed. So the design of this kind of network, when we have the information about the input and the output, is the problem of synthesis. Synthesis means designing. Designing comes when we have the input and the information about the output as well. So in the designing process, we need information about the input and output. We need information about the input and output. Let us discuss what are the further problems with analysis and synthesis. The good thing about analysis is it has a unique solution. Unique solution. No matter whoever solves this particular network for the current into the load, the answer will be the same. But in the problem of synthesis, the design will depend upon the user thinking or the designer knowledge. Designer knowledge base or design criteria. या design technique. So what does it mean? In analysis, we may come to a unique solution worldwide or universally, but in the problem of synthesis, we may have infinite many solutions. Infinite many solutions. So the problem occurs while choosing the best one out of this. So in the syllabus, we will be discussing in the unit number 1, we will be discussing what are signals and signal synthesis, signals and how to synthesize signals in their graphical and mathematical form. In the unit number 2, we will look for the classical approach and frequency domain approach of analysis. Classical domain approach belongs to the time domain and frequency domain approach belongs to the frequency domain. This one is quite difficult, whereas this one is quite simple. So we will first discuss the classical approach, then we will move on to the frequency domain analysis. In the unit number 3, we will discuss two-port network theory and some reliability tests on the network function. We'll discuss what are reliability tests. And unit number 4, synthesis of single port and two-port networks. That is, synthesis means designing of how to design single port and two port network when we have information about the input and output to the network. So that's it for this lecture. Thank you so much.